If you are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact and more revenue in your business, tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Campbell Rapin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. If you are like 95% of the entrepreneurs I meet when I'm out networking, you have this massive question in your head. Where in the heck is my next buyer going to come from? And how come it feels so damn hard to have them find me? That's what we're going to be tackling today on Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Campbell Rapin. I am a business mentor and strategist who helps business owners figure out who is their next buyer. How will you move them predictably from curiosity to paid client? And how do you create value so that you're the yes they say yes to when the offer is presented? And I know the struggle is real because I see it every day, but that struggle with buyers is completely optional. And it is not okay that you just spend all this time envisioning on the other side if you don't know where you're starting. So today's episode is really about the starting block of getting into the mind of your next buyer. And I will tell you, your next buyer is not a reflection of your current client who has already said yes. And that's why you're so in the struggle right now. Here's why. Let me break this down before we jump in. Your current client has already had a moment of enlightenment where they saw the problem, they saw your solution, and they connected the solution that you offer to their gap, and they said yes to you. They've already moved into the continuum of enlightenment. Congratulations. That is awesome to see. I want to see more of that in your business. But if you take this client who's already said yes, and you simply think that's your next buyer, you have a problem because your next buyer isn't in the same place in the time continuum. They're in the dark still. They're wondering, what the heck is the problem? What do I need? And they have not even thought about, why would I hire you? And so using messaging to the current client is a waste of time to find your next client. So if we know that that's the truth, and you can see it listening into this episode today, I want you to be thinking, what does your buyer, the next buyer coming into your pipeline, want? Well, it starts with a couple of key questions that you need to spend time answering. Without this, you are throwing spaghetti at the wall and running to the tactics and hoping for success instead of having a clear strategy that you know will predictably create success. So the first piece that I want to be asking is, you need to be marketing to the person in the before scene. If you were in a movie plot, you want to talk about where were they before they became a client? What was going on in their world? What were the struggles they encountered? What had they tried as solutions? And what is the line in the sand that they keep drawing where they get tired of their own BS and say, I can't stay here? You really need to get into that heart of the darkness so that you can see them as they are, not as they hope to be, not as they are in the place of enlightenment, but really, truly intersect them in the darkness. And one of the most fundamental pieces of the work I do with my clients in the Business Scale Accelerator is getting clear, where is this intersection point you are choosing as your business growth strategy? Because this is a personal choice. The continuum from darkness to light is a long path. And you get to choose where you set up camp, where you decide the intersection point is, and how you will bump into somebody with softness in a dark place that feels safe. So you've got to think in your head, first and foremost, every piece of content I put out there, every piece that is about buyer movement and attracting your next client is about the before scene. What's happening in the before scene? I watched the light bulb just go off above your head as you realized I'm not talking about the before scene. I'm trying to sell a unicorn in the after scene, the happy ever after. And it's not that we don't want the happy ever after, just so we're clear here. It's just that I didn't get out of bed today to live my happy ever after. Most of us don't. And it seems too far. It seems too big of a stretch. It seems too unlikely to be true. So we admire it, but we don't attach ourselves to it. And if we're not attached to your wagon, we won't be moving with you. So if you think about where are they in the before, I want you to be asking, what problem do they think they have? Not with the expert lens of what problem do you believe they have, but what problem do they think they have? What assumptions are they making about their problem, the options to solve it, and their own limitations? Because the first piece of movement is to start to change belief systems. And it is also the most important system that you keep supporting change around as you work together to deliver your programs and services at a very high level. But you've got to really think about what is their assumptions. And the best way to do it is through conversation. Ask, listen, document, be an observer to the darkness. Your ability to be the observer in the darkness and see people in the darkness will predict and impact significantly your success rate. So don't miss this step. If you've stalled your client growth, chances are you're out of sync in this piece of the puzzle. As they live their life through stories, you've got to think about how do you transition and position your business offering as a solution. What are they looking for in a solution? What are their expectations on solutions? What are their requirements on the solution? And remember, I've said this before many times, and I want to keep saying it because it's so important. Their expectations are likely smaller than you imagine because they're not looking for the unicorn you're selling. They're looking for small wins, predictably, that feel like they will build movement, and movement will lead to momentum. So be aware that slowing down and trimming down your offers meets them where they are in the darkness. And it makes the yes much more attainable for them. And yes is what we're looking for. We want to be the yes that people say yes to. But you've got to think about their expectations, their requirements, and how you are positioning what you offer as a match for their assumptions, their belief systems, and the problem they think they have. As you start to be able to get into this place, I said the number one goal is that you see them. That's your business strategy. That's your choice in the intersection point. More importantly, now we need to start shifting the lens of now what? It's great that we see them, but so what? What really matters is, can we move them? Can we put up signposts? Can we show them what is on the other side that we know is desirable for them? Not everybody, but for your next buyer. You want to educate them that there is something beyond their current reality. And that needs to come from a place of sympathy, compassion, understanding, hope, and the positive energies of lightness out of the dark. As you start to show people and do so through curiosity seeking, do you know there are options on the other side? Is such a profound question, because when someone's in the darkness and they're spinning in the circles and they've drawn the lines 100 times in their own BS limits and assumptions, this can be a really abrupt question. And it might start them spinning backwards, but that's okay. They're still in movement. And all movement is the goal. Movement leads to the momentum. And we start to say there is something on the other side. And are you curious about it? And that's when we start to tap into a marketing strategy. Remember, it's not about the tactics. Tactics, you can choose any tactic you like to get in front of more people. That is a personal choice in your own way you want to win. But what's non-negotiable is that you have a strategy to move somebody, to educate them. There is something on the other side. I am offering the following. Here's what makes me the must hire. And here is how you keep them moving to say, tell me more. It's a curiosity, human journey. Many people get into the caught when they're thinking business strategy that people are motivated by money. Sounds reasonable, right? Money is the universal language, as is love. But it's not money that in fact is the goal, even when it is one we can understand and connect to. Because truthfully, if money was the problem, people would solve it, and they don't. You want to create a business, make some phone calls. You want to build a business, make more offers. You want to build a business, you have to get in front of more people, more ways, more often. And yet every business owner I says goes, I don't know where all my buyers are. Well, they're out there spending money, not with you, because you're not doing the work. It's not money that's driving you. And let's be clear, money is a reflection of the impact of the goal itself. It's not the goal, because the goal never sustains it. Because if you are uncertain that you could create $1 million business, quit the field. You absolutely can. But it's going to mean that you have to keep turning over and taking actions. And many people fatigue themselves out of the game. Those who stay have good foundations, good leadership, good inner circles, and the commitment to the non-negotiable business foundations. So if money isn't the goal itself, it's just a reflection of the goal, you need to be thinking, what is the life that my next buyer wants when they have the money, when they have the freedom, when they have the love, when they have the wealth, the health, and the dream? Because it's connecting to that vision that gets them moving, keeps them moving, and sustains them. And you need to be clear on that continuum of where they are in their journey, that you are the spark. You're illuminating possibility. And it is this simple. It is not at all effortless, which is why people come to work with us. Because they don't know who their buyer is. They don't have clarity on their strategy. They don't understand the value they bring because they're trying to sell unicorns when their clients aren't looking for them. Unicorns, that is. And so if you simply slow yourself down, I want you to think about in your business, if you want to amplify your marketing and you want to influence more people and you want to get your clients, the dream ones you want to see every day walk into your business doors, it is simple. I'm going to recap it for you. What does your buyer want? Your next buyer, not your current client, your next buyer. You've got to market to that person in the before scene, not the enlightened, happy ever after scene. You need to understand, what problem are they seeking? What problem do they think they have? What is the lens in which they're seeing the world? What assumptions are they making about the limits, the possibilities, the beliefs for them where they are right now in the darkness? How does the solution that you might propose fit their expectations, their requirements, and their assumptions? It has to be within the realm of possibility, or they will walk right by you. And in order to do that, you need to then be able to tie through strategy a connection from where they are to where they want to go, and you as the guide to get there. That means you need to know, one, where they are, the world they see, why they see you in a certain way, and how you are valued to them. Not justifying yourself, but valued to them. That's essential, or you will never be the must hire. From there, you need to understand that the thing that keeps them and sustains them moving is small wins. Smaller than you are giving credit for right now, I can almost guarantee it. 1% is the difference maker in business, my friends. You don't have to be changing in 100%. You need to go for the 1%. And you need to understand that it's not about money, even though that's the really easy, commonly accepted cultural driver. Money isn't what motivates us. For the vast majority of us, we would like more. Could we create more? 100%. Are we doing anything to do that? Unlikely. Not consistently, in fits and spurts. Well, I don't want you building a business on something that's motivated by fits and spurts. I want you to create a client growth engine. I want you to have predictability, that you know where your next buyer is coming from. And in order to do that, you need to get clear that money is a reflection of the goal. It's not the goal itself. Because that $1 million life, that $1 million business, that $1 million wealth, whatever that is, money, health, freedom, love, community, all comes through choice. And that's why when we talk about amplifying your marketing message, you as the business owner have to step off the tactic crazy wheel you're on and start thinking about a planned strategy. Strategy is the heartbeat and the framework of how you show up to attract your next buyer. It asks 4 key questions. Who are we? How do we want to play on the field we choose? How will we win in the field that we choose? And what resources and capacity do we have today and in the mid and long term that we need to create the ripples of change? Well, in that strategy framework, we need to know who's our buyer, how will we move them predictably, how do we create value? These are the foundations of scalability. They're the foundations of business long-term wealth creation, and they are the foundations of what you need, non-negotiable. That's exactly what I take my clients through. I help them dial this in, and I be a thinking partner who has your 100% back as you build the business you want, so that you're creating the big ripples of solving what the buyer needs. Not just once in a while, but you become the yes they say yes to. If you are in a business place right now where this feels uncomfortable, this feels like I have not spent enough time doing this, recognize your gap. Come talk to me and figure out where are the gaps and work with me to achieve a bridge that overcomes the gap predictably. Because I will tell you, I have the best life ever. I love working shotgun with my clients. I love seeing the ripples of the work my clients do. They are movement makers. They're empire builders. They're leaders who are changing the world and creating community, connection. That's the currency of today. It's fun. It's your invitation. So come amplify your marketing message. Discover our programs and services at ChristineCampbellRapin.com and let us help you get really clear on your buyer equation. I'll see you there. Can't wait to connect with you soon. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit ChristineCampbellRapin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next episode.